Hey, if you're ready to transform your life in just 10 minutes a day, hit that subscribe button and join me on this journey. Let's dive in. I wish someone had told me this earlier. Your life can change with one small, deliberate act every single morning. I'm not talking about some grand, life-altering decision or a complete overhaul of your routine. No, it's simpler than that. So simple it feels almost too good to be true. It all started when I picked up Make Your Bed by Admiral William H. McRaven, a book that hit me like a freight train. One line burned itself into my mind: if you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It sounds trivial, right? But that one sentence flipped a switch in my head. I was a mess back then, drowning in chaos, waking up to a cluttered room, a cluttered mind, and a life that felt like it was spiraling out of control. I was 27, stuck in a dead-end job, scrolling through my phone for hours, and wondering why I felt so empty. That book, that single idea, was the spark that changed everything. Let me take you back to 3 years ago. I was living in a cramped apartment, surrounded by unwashed dishes, unfolded laundry, and a bed that looked like a war zone. Every morning, I'd wake up, hit snooze 5 times, and drag myself out of bed feeling like I'd already lost the day. My phone was my escape. 6, sometimes 7 hours a day, sucked into endless feeds of TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I wasn't living, I was existing. My friends stopped calling because I was always too busy staring at a screen. My boss pulled me aside one day and said, "You're not focused, you're not here." That stung. I knew he was right, but I didn't know how to fix it. I felt trapped in my own life, like I was watching someone else's train wreck unfold. Then, one sleepless night, I stumbled across Make Your Bed on a friend's bookshelf. I started reading, half expecting some fluffy self-help nonsense. But McRaven's words cut through the noise. He said, "It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another." I sat there staring at my unmade bed, and something clicked. What if the chaos in my life wasn't because of my job, my phone, or my circumstances? What if it started with something as small as that tangled mess of sheets? The next morning, I made my bed. It took less than 2 minutes. I stood back, looked at it, and felt something. A tiny spark of control. For the first time in months, I'd done something intentional. That spark became my lifeline. But let's be real. Making my bed didn't magically fix everything. I still spent hours on my phone, still felt like I was falling behind in life. The difference was that I started noticing the chaos. My unmade bed had been a symbol of my unraveling life, messy, neglected, out of control. Making it every morning became my rebellion against that chaos. It was my way of saying, "Not today." But I didn't stop there. That small act led me to question everything else I was doing, or wasn't doing. Why was I wasting half my day on social media? Why was I letting my dreams slip away while I scrolled through other people's highlight reels? I started tracking my time and was horrified to see the numbers. 2,190 hours a year on my phone. That's 91 days, 3 whole months, gone. I was throwing away a quarter of my life every year. The turning point came when I missed a close friend's birthday because I was too busy binge-watching a Netflix series I don't even remember now. I showed up late, empty-handed, and saw the disappointment in her eyes. That was my rock bottom. I went home, looked at my perfectly made bed, and thought about McRaven's words again. By the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. I realized I wasn't just making my bed, I was rebuilding my life, one small task at a time. That's when I knew I had to change, not just for me, but for the people I cared about, for the person I wanted to become. That moment of clarity hit me hard, but clarity alone doesn't change your life. Action does. I was done letting my days slip away in a haze of procrastination and mindless scrolling. Inspired by Make Your Bed, I decided to build a 10-minute routine that became my secret weapon. Admiral McRaven's words echoed in my head. If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. I took that literally and built on it, creating a system that transformed my mornings and, eventually, my entire life. Let me break it down for you, step by step, so you can steal this routine and make it your own. It's not about perfection. It's about momentum. Step 1, make your bed, no excuses. It sounds basic, but it's non-negotiable. The moment you roll out of bed, take 2 minutes to pull the sheets tight, fluff the pillows, and make it look sharp. Why? Because it's a signal to your brain that you're in control. I used to leave my bed a mess, and that chaos bled into my day, missed deadlines, forgotten workouts, half-eaten takeout piling up. After I started making my bed, I noticed I was less likely to skip other tasks. It's like a domino effect. One morning I made my bed, and instead of grabbing my phone, I washed the dishes. Then I answered an email I'd been dodging for weeks. By noon, I felt like I'd won the day. McRaven was right. One task sparks another. Step 2, spend 3 minutes planning your day. Grab a notebook or your phone, whatever works, and write down 3 things you must get done. Not 10, not 20, 3. I used to wake up overwhelmed, with a mental to-do list a mile long, and I'd end up doing nothing because I didn't know where to start. After reading Make Your Bed, I realized focus is everything. McRaven talks about Navy SEAL training, where every mission has a clear objective. I applied that to my life. For example, one day my list was finish a work report, go for a 20-minute run, and call my mom. Checking those off gave me a rush of accomplishment. On average, I went from completing 0 intentional tasks a day to at least 3, which added up to 1,095 wins a year. That's not small. Step 3. Move your body for 5 minutes. You don't need a gym or fancy equipment. Do jumping jacks, stretch, or dance like nobody's watching. I started with push-ups in my bedroom because I was too broke for a gym membership. McRaven says, life is a struggle, and the potential for failure is ever present, but those who live in fear of failure will never achieve their goals. I used to skip exercise because I thought it took too much time. But 5 minutes? Anyone can do that. Those 5 minutes became my daily reminder that I'm stronger than my excuses. Over time, I went from barely managing 10 push-ups to running 5K races. Last year, I ran a half marathon, something I never thought I'd do. The results? They're undeniable. Before this routine, I was averaging 6.5 hours of screen time daily. My apartment was a disaster, and I hadn't read a book in years. After 6 months of sticking to this 10-minute routine, I cut my screen time to under 2 hours, read 15 books, and even started a side hustle that brought in an extra $3,000. My relationships got better too. I was present, not distracted. I remember one night sitting with my best friend, actually listening to her instead of checking my phone. She said, "You're different now. You're here." That meant more than any paycheck. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds too simple. Can 10 minutes really change my life? I doubted it too. I tried those overhyped 5 a.m. morning routines, meditation, journaling, green smoothies, and burned out after a month. They felt like a second job. This routine works because it's short, intentional, and builds momentum. You're not overhauling your life. You're stacking small wins. And those wins, they compound. A made bed led me to a cleaner apartment, which led to clearer thinking, which led to better decisions. Last week, I landed a promotion I'd been chasing for 2 years. I'm not saying it's all because of my bed, but that's where it started. You're still here, and that tells me something. You're ready to take control, to stop letting life slip through your fingers. That's exactly where I was when I realized a 10-minute routine, inspired by Make Your Bed, could be the difference between drifting through life and actually living it. Admiral McRaven's words still haunt me. If you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. For me, the sharks were my own bad habits. Endless scrolling, procrastination, and self-doubt. I faced them, one small morning at a time, and now it's your turn. Don't just watch this video and nod along. Do something. Let's make it real, starting today. This isn't about perfection or some Instagram-worthy morning routine. It's about showing up for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. Start tomorrow morning. Roll out of bed and make it. Tight corners, fluffed pillows, no excuses. It takes 2 minutes, but it's your first win. Then grab a piece of paper, write down 3 things you're going to crush that day, and do them. Don't overthink it. Just pick 3. Maybe it's sending that email you've been avoiding, taking a walk, or calling someone you love. Then move your body for 5 minutes. Jump, stretch, dance, whatever gets your blood pumping. That's it. 10 minutes. You don't need more time, money, or motivation. You just need to start. Why does this work? Because small actions compound into massive change. When I started this routine, I was a guy who couldn't keep his room clean, who spent 2,190 hours a year on his phone, who felt like life was passing him by. Now, I'm running half marathons, reading a book a month, and building a side hustle that's on track to replace my day job. Last month, I saved $800 by cutting out impulse buys I used to make while mindlessly scrolling. My friends noticed the change too. One even said, "You're like a different person," but in a good way. That's what happens when you stack small wins. You become someone you're proud of. But here's the deal. You have to act. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Pause this video, grab your phone, and set a reminder for tomorrow morning. Make my bed, plan my day, move my body. 10 minutes, that's all I'm asking. If you're thinking, I've tried routines before and they never stick, I get it. I failed at a dozen morning routines before this one. The difference? This one's short, simple, and builds momentum. McRaven said it best. Making your bed will reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. Those little things add up to big things. Trust me. So here's my challenge to you. Try this 10-minute routine for 7 days, just 1 week. Make your bed, plan 3 tasks, move for 5 minutes. Track your progress. Write down how you feel each day. I bet you'll notice a shift. Maybe you'll finally start that project you've been putting off. Maybe you'll cut your screen time by an hour. Maybe you'll just feel a little less lost. Whatever happens, share it with me in the comments. Tell me, what's one thing you're going to do tomorrow to take back control? How many hours are you spending on your phone right now? Let's start a conversation and hold each other accountable. Oh, and if you're ready to keep leveling up your life, hit that subscribe button. I'm dropping videos every week with practical tips to help you break free from the chaos and build a life you love. Don't just watch. Join the journey. Try this routine, share your story, and let's see how far we can go together. You've got 10 minutes. Make them count.